Hi, in this video we're going to solve quadratic equations by factorizing. Solve the quadratic equations by factorization. So the method of factorization is essentially putting the quadratic equation into this format of double brackets. So we need to think of two numbers that multiply together that gives us positive 6, and the same two numbers that added together gives us positive 5. So I'll write that here. Gives us 6, and the same two numbers added together gives us 5. So it's going to be 3 and 2, as 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 plus 2 is 5. So we're going to then put them in here, positive 3 and positive 2. So now we've factorized the quadratic equation. The final step is to solve it. So to solve it, it means what does x need to be? That the result of this bracket is 0. So x has to be negative 3. As negative 3 plus 3 makes 0. And what does x need to be here to make 0? That's negative 2. So the solutions are negative 3 and negative 2. Now, the next question. Again, we can't put this one into double brackets straight away. As we can see, this is not 0. So to be able to put it into double brackets, the right-hand side, or one side, has to equal to 0. So we need to add 3 to both sides, which makes it, so 3 plus 17 is 20. Now this is 0. So then we can put it into double brackets. Now again, two numbers that multiply together to give us 20. And two numbers that multiply together to give us 20. And the same two numbers that added together to give us 9. So that's going to be 5 and 4. Positive 5, positive 4. So the solutions are negative 5, as negative 5 plus 5, that's 0. And negative 4, as negative 4 plus 4 is 0 also. Okay, question 3 here, again, it's already equal to 0 on the right hand side. So we can go ahead and put it into double brackets format. It's going to be x here, as that's just x squared. Now two numbers that multiply together to give us positive 2, and the same two numbers that added together to give us negative 3. Now it has to be negative 1 times by negative 2, because negative times negative gives us positive 2. And the same two numbers, negative 1 plus negative 2, that gives us negative 3. So it's really important to write the sign down and think about the sign as well. So we're just going to write that in here. Now this has to equal to 0, so x has to be 1. And x has to be 2 here. In the next two, I'm just going to go ahead and solve it. So two numbers times together gives us negative 3, and the same two numbers added together give us negative 2. That has to be, because the result is negative, that means one of the numbers that's being multiplied, one of these has to be negative. So that's got to be negative 3 and 1. The reason why it's negative 3, not negative 1 and 3, is because when we add these two together, it's supposed to give us a negative 2. So the bigger number needs to be negative. Plus 1, so the solution is the next one. So two numbers times together to give us negative 21. It's got to be 3 and 7, but that's not equal to 0, so we've got to bring that to the left hand side. Now, those two numbers got to be negative 4 and positive 6. I hope this makes sense and you've learned something you didn't know before. Thank you for watching.